Welcome to the Clarity Confidence Connection Summit, where women break through barriers, unlock their next level of success, and build bonds with other badass business owners. Your host for this session is Ranchelle Van Bryce. Ranchelle is a business intuitive, sacred commerce coach, author, and podcast and TV show host of Ignite Your Success. She is magnificently obsessed with guiding women to live their best lives. Ranchelle puts her passion into helping women flourish, triumph, and prosper. Whether that's professional success, physical health and wellness, or thriving personal relationships, she moves them towards the something different that they are yearning for. Ranchelle is one of the co-creators of the Clarity Confidence Connection Summit. She has another amazing guest coming right up. Take it away, Ranchelle.
I do. I have the most amazing, how's that? Amazing Chris is with us. Oh my goodness. Chris, I absolutely love you. I do. I watched you on, right? We met at the last summit. We connected on Facebook. I watch your Facebook posts and I'm just like, it's so exciting to have you here. I really want to thank you for saying yes to the summit. And, when people are on our tracks, we don't pick and choose, right? So really what happens is it's randomly selected in the sense of we have someone that does it for us. And so then I get to speak with you and I was like, life is complete. It's awesome. So thank you.
Thank you. And I want to thank you and your team for the unbelievable job you're doing, getting the most amazing speakers together and doing an amazing job of hosting this event.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much. So the speakers, I agree. It's just been like mind blowing, right? And the team and Inspired Choices Network, the back end of things, handling all those things. There's a lot of moving parts. And I can't imagine doing it on my own, number one. So, shout out to Candace and Samantha. And of course, and today with the producer behind us right now today is Mackenzie Alexander. I'm going to brag on her. My daughter is here with me today. She's the producer of this segment. So loving her so much. Thanks, Ken, for being here. Yep. Chris, your title, 3 Steps from Overachiever to High Performer. And that subtle shift in energy to overachiever, but knowing that you can still be a high performer, high performance, that is a subtle shift in mindset for sure. And I'm really looking forward to having you share your story, but just, these steps on how to move from that place to this place. And so please, first, before I do that, I want to honor you by sharing an introduction. Which is Chris lives a life that has meaning and purpose, but it wasn't always like that. A serious car crash in 2003 woke her up to the fact that she was a people pleaser who was lonely, bored, and unfulfilled. It took Chris several years of searching to discover the secret to creating the life she longed for, and a few more to create it for herself. As a mindset coach, Chris's mission is to share what she has learned, with other women who are ready to create a life of value and purpose for themselves. Key word, value and purpose for themselves, right? So absolutely. So everyone in the house, give a shout out. If you're in the audience, you're present with us, do a shout out for Chris. And just send her some love. We all know what it's like to be here, right? And to be presenting and sharing our passion and purpose. And it's still great to receive love. Yeah, and so if you could do that, audience, that would be fantastic. Chris, please take it away.
Well, first of all, why do I do what I do? I believe that we all have a purpose in life, and that is to share our unique gifts with the world for the betterment of all. Yeah. I believe I have that purpose. And unfortunately, I did not know that. I lost connection with my purpose. I lost my way. So why I do what I do is I was a police officer for 20 years. And yes, I was. And well into my career, I had this significant car crash. It was a near-death experience. And it was one of those events where the car remained in motion for a long time. Yeah. And I realized I might not live. And in that moment, my life flashed before my eyes. And I saw it. It was a huge disappointment that I had left so many dreams unrealized on a shelf collecting dust. And there was no meaning. There was no reason. There was no purpose. I saw no purpose for what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I promised myself that I was going to change that. And 15 months later, it took me a long time to heal from my wounds, mental, physical. And I remember walking back into work at that first day and going into the locker room, putting on my uniform, putting on all the tools, and looking in the mirror and my heart sinking, because I was the same person who got tossed around in that car. Nothing had changed. And at that moment, I reconnected with my determination to make the changes. Unfortunately, I believed that asking for help was a sign of weakness. So I had to do it all by myself. And it seemed like such a daunting journey.
Yeah.
I took all the courses, all the workshops, I read all the books, and they all allowed me to dream, but none of them told me, how do you turn that dream into reality? So I had to find that out.
Yeah.
And I found a golden nugget here and there in the different resources. And I took a step back and I realized that those golden nuggets could come together into a system that would lead to change. And I implemented that system, and that's when my life started to turn around. It was still trial and error. I took long turns, got down some rabbit holes. So now I know it works. I've seen it work with my clients. It's proven. And my purpose is, of course, to share that with others so they don't have to go on that long, circuitous journey that I took. It doesn't have to take years, my friends. It can take months.
Yeah.
It still takes work.
Yeah.
But it's possible. You can do it. And it's about looking within.
Yeah.
It's not about looking without.
Yeah. It's such a great message. I mean, especially, part of our purpose here at the summit is to connect an audience of people who are looking and searching for something to the people who can provide it. I mean, really and truly, if I broke it down to like 2 sentences, my life purpose, actually, so I can take my life purpose is to find contributors, right, who want to contribute to the world, and find people who are searching for the answer and go, hey, I have someone that I think you should talk to. Let me introduce you. Yeah. Right, Chris? And I think, so from that perspective, when we understand our purpose, we can move towards it. However, you said something super significant, which is you felt you had to do it on your own. Yes. And we have everything within us. However, I don't know about all of you, but it was like this code that a lock that I couldn't unlock, or a code I couldn't see on my own. Right. I think guidance, when you have a guide, coach, mentor, guide, that can help see the things that you might not see, I think that makes all the difference. And that's kind of what I hear you kind of talking about, Chris, is a nugget here, a nugget there. You put the system together, and had you been in a different place to have maybe seek out someone who could have taught you the system, right?
And I'm not even sure I was yet ready to receive the message. Yeah. So I understand that my clients, the women I talk to, they struggle with reaching out for help.
Yeah.
And as Jack said last night, you have to take 100% responsibility for your life, and you have to take that first step. And that first step is asking for help. One of my mentors used to say, you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it. Our behavior is driven by beliefs. Mm-hmm. And those beliefs are set down by the age of 5.
Right.
That's where we develop our view of the world, how it works, and our place in it.
Yeah.
So I wonder if our beliefs drive life, I wonder how many members of this audience would give the keys to their car to a 5-year-old.
Right.
Because until you bring those unconscious beliefs to light, you're allowing a 5-year-old to run your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And doing that on your own is really hard. You need someone to help to reflect back to you how you're viewing the world, for you to be able to say, well, that may have made sense once, but it sure doesn't make sense today.
Right. I love that. I love it. And especially when you're talking about like the 3 steps from overachiever to high performer. So, overachievers base their value on a number of things that they can accomplish, right?
Yes.
So we are going to move from overachiever to high performance. What would be, well, let's talk about the keys, and share the keys with us.
So the first step is you need to know what you want in life. You need to have a vision of the life that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And that vision needs to be connected to your values, what's important to you, and what your purpose is.
Yeah.
When you have a vision that's based on those 2 criteria, you are emotionally attached to it.
Yeah.
And our behavior is actually driven by our emotions. When you want something, you're driven towards the vision as opposed to being pushed from behind, feet in the sand, dragging yourself all the way through. You're actually propelled forward when you have that kind of a vision. So that's the first step. The second step is you need to bring those unconscious beliefs to light. You need to debunk them, and you need to replace them with your truth. Yeah. That you are a whole creative and a resourceful and a whole person who has all the answers. My role as a coach is certainly not to tell you what to do. My goal and my role is to elicit from you the answers that you already have within you, but that you are turning a blind eye to because of all those little gremlins that say, are you kidding? You can't do this. You don't deserve it. You're not enough.
Right.
Those beliefs need to be debunked and replaced with the truth. And lastly, you have to take action. If I want so much as a hair out of my eyes, I have to move. I have to take action.
I'm just gonna zen. I want the hair to move.
Sorry, my friends, it's not going to happen.
Right, and I think that sometimes when we think that, I'm just going to think about the hair moving.
Yeah.
It's going to run. No, something else has to happen, right?
And again, that's where you can benefit from having someone at your side cheering you on when things get rough. Because first of all, when things get rough, we revert to what we know best, which is the way we did, life before that didn't work for us. And second of all, when you have someone at your side, I had a train of thought that I've just lost.
Oh, good. It'll come back. It'll come back. Yeah.
Some people can do it on their own, but others can't, because you revert to what. And it's scary because you have to step out of your comfort zone.
Right. Yeah.
Your comfort zone is keeping you safe and small. You have to step out. And stepping out of your comfort zone, by definition, is scary. So having somebody at your side cheering you on, supporting you, reminding you of your brilliance, and the fact that you're creative, resourceful, and whole, even when you're shaking, that's what helps you get forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I think even making a decision, and teaching our kids to do that. And it's funny that Mackenzie's on here, and so feels a little bit weird me sharing this. When the kids were little, I had all the curves. Oh, I'm full of emotion. And, I was having a hard time parenting because I was so overwhelmed at work. My day was full of solving problems. And I remember being so overwhelmed, the kids would ask me a question, I would just spin. I couldn't answer it. And so, I think Mackenzie might have been 12 at the time, and Jacob, her brother, was 10. And I said to the kids, don't ask me questions. I want you to tell me what you want, and be clear, and then give me an opportunity. But if I say no, I don't want to negotiate. And I taught my kids how to negotiate. So I don't want to negotiate. And so you might not like the answer, but it was easier for me. So it was easier for me to process. So I did it because I was an awareness of what was happening with my mind and my body. And it was self-preservation. Mm-hmm. The underlying gift, though, Chris, was my kids know what they want, and they speak what they want, and they're clear about what they want. And it's the benefit. So I'm sharing that with everybody because I think sometimes what happens is we're afraid to make a statement of what we want. And that can be uncomfortable if you've never thought about what do I want. So it's like your first step. and asking for it, you may not know that's available. So it's kind of like a double opportunity here is you can teach your kids at a young age, to make a statement of what it is that you want. And so both of them, my kids are extremely determined in nature, and they're really clear about what they want. Sometimes it's surprising it doesn't happen the way they think it's going to happen, right? But when you were talking about that, because I just thought that was such an important opportunity for us, like, what do you want, right?
I had no clue. And I just want to say, speak to what you just said about your kids knowing what they want. It is because of a speaker in this summit that I now know exactly the day that I stopped asking for what I wanted. It was a very traumatic day, and I'm going to start crying.
Yeah.
But I remember the day.
Right. Yeah.
And I was very young. Very young. Those traumatic events stay with you. They stay with you. And if you have given your two children the opportunity to learn to speak up for what they want, then you've given them a gift.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yeah, Jack, tears is the best. Oh, good. Chris, sorry, I'm just going to cry. You guys can be on do what you want. And I share that story because, it goes back to this, the overachiever to high performer. I think an overachiever doesn't actually know what they want, and they're spinning the wheels because they don't know, and they're trying to people please. They're trying to, maybe I'm supposed to do this, and maybe I'm supposed to do this, and maybe I'm supposed to do this. But when you move into that high performers know, they're clear, don't you think?
Oh, they're driven by purpose. They know what they want. They're driven their vision. When I think back to I became a police officer because I wanted to make a difference in the world.
Right.
I wanted to make a difference. What I now know is I was driven by my wounds, not by my scars, which is a big, big difference. Big difference. Yes.
Yes.
And that is something, that is insight that I only got from one of my mentors recently.
Yeah.
That I was driven to get even with the people who were hurting, punish the people who were hurting others. My purpose is to make people feel seen, heard, and valued, that they matter and that their life matters.
Right.
That is incompatible with what I was doing. The reason I went, and even though like in my mind, I was doing something good.
Yeah.
But it wasn't in alignment with my actual purpose. And because I had, I had a uniform, I was running in when people were running out, but life scared me.
Yeah.
Life scared me. I was terrified of rejection. All I could focus on was, what are my arrest rates? What are my, court rates? And I forgot, I lost sight of, and I will admit it, I lost sight of the fact that I was dealing with people, most of whom were in pain. Doesn't mean that the behavior was acceptable or condonable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the people, there's a reason why people behave the way they do.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. Oh, so many mic drop moments, everyone, right? Absolutely. And so, Chris, I know you have an amazing free gift for us, which is like blows me away that you've just opened your heart. So, as a summit host, I want to thank you for that. Mackenzie's going to drop this in link for us, so anyone who wants it can grab it. And so the free gift is Take Back Your Life: How to Pivot from Overachiever to High Performer for Goal-Oriented Women. Tell us a little bit about that, because it's a robust free program. Thank you.
So when you download, when you click on the download, what you're going to get is a guide, and it just talks a bit more about the 3 steps: the vision, the beliefs, and the action. And it includes a small assessment that will give you a sense of where you are in your life today. Mm-hmm. When you download that, you will then get an invitation to a free workshop.
Yeah.
The workshop is Create Your Dream. It's a virtual vision board workshop. Mm-hmm. It's not like most vision board parties. The workshop, it's two sessions. In the first 2-hour session, I'm going to walk you through a number of exercises that are actually going to help you look within yourself to find out what it is that you really want and why you want it. You will then go away for a week and you will create your vision board based on what's in your heart.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm giving you a week to do that is, first of all, so you can think about it, internalize it. But some people are going to want to make this virtual. Some are going to want to actually put, color on canvas.
Yeah.
Do it whatever way you want. And then a week later, we're going to come back for another 2 hours where we're going to be debriefing and committing to that vision board and deciding what your goals are for the next 4 months.
Yeah.
And sort of creating a plan for that and what your next step is. Yeah. So it's a robust vision board party.
Yeah.
It's more to it.
Yeah.
So I welcome people. It's all part of the free download.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's beautiful. I often am reminded of we overlook the simplicity of how important a vision board is, right? And if we miss that step, right, then things don't unfold from our purpose. And I hear, I hear lots. It's like, oh yeah, I did that like 10 years ago and it didn't work. And I'm like, how do you know? Like, did you look to see what was going on? Like, there's so many, and there is a right way to do it. And not implying that there's a wrong way, because I'm really careful with my words of right or wrong, right? There's never a wrong way, but there is a right way in the terms of how to, right, create a vision, how to use your imagination, how to use your emotion. And there's a way that doesn't work as well. We can say that takes the long winding road down the rabbit hole and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So when you can have a guide like Chris, everyone, and I'm going to encourage you, even if you're here and you are a coach yourself, or consultant yourself, been a speaker, I think we can always learn from our collaborators, from our co-workers, from people in our field. I think when we get to a space ourselves of, oh, I know that, we're in a dangerous place, right? I think
the day I stop learning is the day I take my last breath.
Yeah, right.
And I'm just going to say that when you say there's an effective way and a less effective way, a lot of times people will create a vision board, they'll hang it up, and that's really nice. And then they'll continue life the way. But remember what Jack said and what I say, it's that third step, action. You have to do something to make it happen.
Yeah. Exactly, right. That Holly says we all have to heal together. So I absolutely agree. So I know we have like 45 seconds to music cue. What would be a drop of wisdom that you'd like to leave with us, please, and thank you?
It is never too late, ever too late to pivot in your life. Consider, would you like to live your last 5 minutes knowing you're on the path? Or 20 years suffering? Suffering is optional.
Suffering is, I love that. Yeah. So those of you who are a bit on my track, I have one track left, and we have our closing ceremony. My last track is with, oh my goodness, Chastity. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your first name, Chastity Wright, and its time is ticking. Let's start talking. And when I first read, I thought, let's start talking. I thought, well, this will be interesting. And then I was like, oh no, she's talking about TikTok. Not joking. I was like, well, this will be an interest. Either way, it's going to be interesting. It's not what my brain's registered. Love it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Come to the next track. Don't leave. We have our closing ceremony, and we would really, really like you to be part of the closing ceremony as well. Love you.
Thank you for joining us for another amazing session on the Clarity Confidence Connection Summit, where women break through barriers, unlock their next level of success, and build bonds with other badass business owners. For recordings of all sessions, plus an amazing VIP gift bundle full of courses and resources from our knowledgeable speakers, you can upgrade to a VIP ticket for only $97. If you have any questions or run into any challenges during the summit, email our support team at breakthrough@clarityconfidenceconnection.com. Stay tuned. We have another fantastic speaker coming right up.